Let me know if you can hear me now. Yes, finally. Finally. Okay, let me get it. I'm just going to grab a drink and then we kick off. Excuse me. Finally, you can hear me. Thank you. Thank you for bearing with. We live in a we live in a virtual world now, so um, it's important that when we speak to ourselves across different geographical locations all over the world, the first question you want to ask is, "Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I can hear you. No, I can't hear you. Can you see me? Now that you can hear me, can you also see me? If you can see me, say hi or say hello in the comments in the chat, and I'll kick off because I think we spent almost 10 minutes trying to get the tech to work. And I'm so excited it's working. I am so happy to be here. Oh, fantastic. I can see you well. I can hear you too. I can read from you. Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. Okay. So let's get started and then we will come to questions and more conversations towards the end of the presentation today. All right. The focus of the conversation this afternoon, and thank you again for joining this webinar. The focus of the conversation today is around getting a job in the UK within 8 weeks. I'm going to talk you through a couple of things, establish some statistics and data, and then we'll talk about how do we, navigate to secure a role in the UK. Um, Welcome here. So thank you for dialing in. Please make sure you stay to the end. I encourage you to stay to the end. Drop your questions. If you have questions, use the chat to answer your questions. There's also a question tab where you can type your questions, and other people on the webinar today can vote for your questions. So even if it happens that we can't take all the questions, we will definitely have to address the questions that have been voted for. Excuse me. Okay. All right, so let's get in. So, things that I want you to take away from today's webinar. Number one, we're going to play a virtual game. So, I want you to win so that you can win a coaching session with me. So, get a win from our virtual games. The winners will be announced and contacted. So, please participate in the virtual game. The second thing is right in the middle of the webinar, I'm going to put some questions in the poll. So I want you to also participate in the poll. That is how to engage in this webinar so that it's not just one-way conversation. I want you to also be talking to me as I am making the presentation to you. The third thing I want you to do today for me and for yourself is to ask. Yeah? No question is stupid. Only the question that is not asked is stupid. Okay, so don't think a question is stupid or don't feel ashamed or worried or nervous to ask. Just ask any question. Okay, no question is stupid. And of course, engage in the conversation, engage in the community. There is a chat section there. Type your questions in the chat. Of course, I will be coming back to that towards the end of my presentation today. And of course, use the questions tab to ask questions as well. Okay. Now, let me tell you a little bit about myself. For those who don't know me, I think it's important that I make a bit of introduction about myself. Um, my name is Victor. Victor Shunde is my name. I am a business transformation and a change catalyst. Um, when I say business transformation, I'm talking of enterprise transformation for big organizations and small, medium enterprises. I help to manage transformation into the digital technology space. My passions are leadership, behavioral psychology, and technology. So I'm very passionate about excellence in leadership, which is servant leadership now, just to be very specific. I'm very passionate about how people behave, the psychology of consumer behavior, user behavior, and patterns. I do that through user research and design. And I'm very passionate about technology. So if you want to spark my interest, mention technology in any area, in any shape or form. you will have my interest. As a consultant, I work with business leaders. I work with entrepreneurs. I do a lot of coaching for them. I do a lot of business partnerships and collaboration to help them to deliver on their corporate missions and outcomes. On my day to day, I specialize in culture change, agile leadership, user research, business analysis, data science, cloud, cybersecurity, and product development generally. So you generally find me coasting from any of these disciplines across the day, whether it's working with my product team in the business or whether it's coaching some executive leaders at a client, or whether it's looking for how to solve a problem with data. As you see today, I'm very data focused. I love data, so you'll see some of those in my presentation this morning or this afternoon. All right. In terms of my business initiatives and expressions, as you probably are here, so Waymaker Digital is one of our business initiatives and expressions. Momentum is another one. Meetment is another one, and there's a few others. But just to mention a few, those are business initiatives and expressions that I am heavily invested and involved with. I've worked with different clients. I've just listed a few on the slide. So from the BBC, I've done a lot of work. I've done some work with the BBC, like Winter Olympics, um, Doctor Who 3D. I've done some work with Sky. I've done a lot of work with Department for Education, the Majesty's Revenue and Customs, Ministry of Justice in the UK. I've done work, consulting work with NHS England. In fact, I've done some work with the House of Lords and House of House of Lords and House of Parliament, so the UK Parliament. I've done some work with British Telecom, so and many more, many more. But I thought I'll list those things out so that you know that when I'm speaking, I am speaking from a breadth of experience that I've gathered over many years of consulting as a practice. Okay, so that's enough about myself. If you want to connect with me, my contact details are on the screen. So just see if you can, let me see if I can copy that for those who are interested. I can't, okay. So if you want to know about me, um, my contact details are on the screen. Copy that URL and you will be able to have my contact details, see my website, my information on my website, and of course, you'll be able to connect with me. Okay, now let's start with our first virtual game for today. Anybody that can guess the acronyms for all the words, all those acronyms on the screen, put them in the chat. We're gonna look at the chat later on. If you can guess all the acronyms correctly, you have an opportunity to win a coaching call with me. You win a coaching call, a direct call with me. Okay. So if you can guess the acronyms on the screen, you'll be able to secure a coaching call with me. Okay, so I'll leave it on for 2 minutes and then I'll see if people can type. What do you think? TTYL, FTW, BRB, SMH, DFTBA. What do those things mean? I'll give you 1 more minute. If you are able to guess, type all your answers in the chat, and you will be able to. My team and I will look at this at the end of the webinar today, and you'll be able to win a coaching call directly with me, one-to-one. We have coaching calls that you can book with us, and you'll be able to win a coaching call with me. Okay, so 5 more seconds, and then that will be the end of the virtual game today. Okay. I can see people typing in. Okay. I'll give 10 more seconds, 10 more seconds, and then we go. You win a coaching call with me, then we're going 5, 4, Three. No, there's nothing for the question mark. The question mark is just a game, just to asking you the question. Yeah, yeah, and that's it. Thank you for everyone that participated in the acronym game. All right, let's get into it. So let's dive in into today's conversation. Thank you for coming here. Today, I want to cover a number of things. Number one, I want to cover UK immigration statistics, talking about the skill shortage in the UK, on-demand skills in the digital technology space, and then we talk about work experience, remote work, sponsorship, and how momentum can help you. And then we'll come to question and answers at the end of the presentation today. So let's start with UK immigration statistics. I've got a quote here that talks about follow wherever the data leads you. Let the zillions help you rest more easily. Numbers don't lie and they won't lead you astray. Instead, numbers will help you find your way home. Stan Humphreys. Now, it's quite interesting because in the UK has an aging population. So the UK is forecast to see an increase in the dependency ratio. And basically means that the number of people that are getting old and moving out of the workforce range is a lot, and the more young people are coming in, then they're able to balance that because of the high dependency ratio. However, one of the key ways to address this is migration. Net migration helps to reduce the dependency ratio. Migrants are a source of working age people. So it helps to reduce the ratio of retired to working people. And it has a huge benefit for the government, for the UK government's budget. Um, Also important to note as well, I was looking at the immigration statistics for this year, 2020. I was able to find some for as at the end of 2021. And top five countries for skilled worker visa sponsorships are China is number one, the United States of America is number two, India is number one, China is number two, the United States of America number three, Nigeria is number four, and Australia is number five. I only looked at the top five. There are other, there are other ones below the list. But bottom line is that these five countries, it means that these five countries have more people coming into the UK sponsored to work in the United Kingdom, the most out of all the other nations all over the world. Okay, and also if you look at the migration by nationality, you can see there by the um, diagram I'm showing there, the chart. It shows you that the British people have the lowest, the green trend bar, and then you can see EU just follows on top, and then non-EU at the top. Non-EU at the top. So those people I mentioned to you, most of them sit within the non-EU. In fact, the new skilled worker routes introduced in late 2020, which are skilled worker, skilled worker health and care visa, and intercompany transfer visas, accounted for 62% of the total work related visas granted. And it's also making up 98% of all skilled work grants in 2021. Okay, so that means we're talking of 148,000 plus people or visas were granted under the skilled worker healthcare, and also intercompany transfers to the UK. All right, so those are important data to be aware of. In fact, there were in 2019 there were almost 250,000 work-related visas granted in 2021 only. In 2021, there were 987 work related visas that were granted in 2021. And what this means is that we are talking of people who have come through those routes I mentioned earlier: skilled worker visa routes, skilled worker health and care, intracompany transfers, and so on and so forth. We'll come to the study ones in a minute, but you see what I'm talking about. Now, what this means is that between 2021 and 2019, 2021 has a 25% higher number of visas approved by the UK Home Office for people who are coming to work in the UK. All right, so that's a huge proportion of people that have been granted visas to work in the UK. Now, let's talk about the study visas. Yeah, in 2021, yeah, there were 432,279 sponsored visas, yeah, granted to both the main applicant and their dependents. Okay, and that is an increase of 52% compared to previous year. All right, and it's 52% high, I mean 89% more than previous year and 52% higher than 2019. So this is an all-time record level, meaning the UK is really bringing in so many skilled people under the skilled worker or the study visa route. All right. In fact, Chinese nationals were the most common nationality granted sponsor studied visas in 2021. They had 119,334 visas granted to them. Yeah. And in 2019, they were also granted 119,825. Yeah. Now, the last point I've picked from the data that I've been looking at is that Nigerian nationals saw the largest relative increase in sponsored study grants compared with 2019. So there's a 415% increase in the number of study visas that were granted to Nigerian nationals compared to 2019. So there was an increase of 34,816 visas released to Nigerian nationals, an increase and a record level high of 43,200, making Nigerians the third largest nationality group in this year's data set. So that's quite interesting, isn't it? All right. Now, the reason why I'm saying all of this to you is to say if you are looking to come into the UK or you're in the UK already under any of these visa categories, it means that there are opportunities for you. Yeah. We'll talk about the UK job market in a second. But what that means is that there's a lot of competition out there. You have to be able to position yourself, you have to collaborate so that you can be better with others who are doing or who are on the same journey as yourself in order to be able to stand out and be unique and succeed. Now, let's talk about UK job opportunities. Today, I'll be focusing a lot more on tech because that is what I do and that is what we do here at Waymaker Digital and Momentum. Um, I know that a lot of those people in the numbers and the statistics I mentioned earlier, a lot of them are within the health, so many people going for health and social care and all that. The reason why I'm having this conversation, I'm saying this is because it is not only health and social care jobs that are there that are here in the UK. There's a lot of opportunities in the technology space. And I think it's important that people do the work that they love so that they will never have to work a day in their lives, as Confucius said. All right. So if I do technology, I enjoy what I do because I can see my job making an impact in the community. I can see my work making a contribution in the lives of people all over the world. And that is something that gives me a lot of fulfillment. It gives me a lot of joy. All right. Um, I mean, I'm not saying that people who are doing healthcare work or um, call center jobs, they're not fulfilled. If that is what you enjoy to do, kudos to you. And no shades, fantastic. But today, my focus is on technology because I think there's a lot of opportunities that people can take advantage of in this technology space. And many people leave these opportunities on the table because they do not know or they're not aware of what or how to go about getting these jobs. Okay. Now, I looked at TechNation. This is a bit tiny, but let me go to the next one. Some statistics. Tech is growing in the UK massively. As of 2019, there were 2.1 million jobs in the UK digital technology economy. Okay. And we're talking of a 150% increase in demand for roles within the digital technology sector over the past 4 years, up until 2018. And this was before the pandemic. Now, with the pandemic, that number has gone way higher. Yeah. I'm waiting for the stats for 2021 on this one. I got this from Tech Nation. And if you look at this, over the period that this data was looked at, across 29 job categories, the demand for roles within the digital technology field accounts for almost 20% of all the job roles on the job boards. So there's a lot of work here. Okay. In fact, I look at more data. Here, it talks about the fact that there are over 130,000 software developer vacancies in 2018. Now, add pandemic onto that. 2019 was pandemic, 2020 was pandemic, 2022 we are like post-pandemic era. Yeah. Now with pandemic, that number has gone up. Okay. In fact, in the UK, the tech space, there are 230,000 non-tech jobs in the tech sector. We're talking of people like accountants, HRs, legal professionals, etc. Yeah. So the demand for developers have gone over by 3 times. In fact, 9 times more digital tech vacancies exist more than manufacturing. So this is a new era. We are in a new revolution. This is a new digital era that we're talking about here. Demand for roles advertised in digital technology sector compared to other sectors in the UK. If you look at it, the green color shows the roles that are digital and technology related. The orange color shows accounting and finance related roles. Yeah. The blue color shows the legal roles. Yeah. We're comparing tech with other disciplines now. So blue shows legal, and then is that purple or beige or what kind of color is that? That is showing manufacturing or creative design roles. And digital technology still, outshines all of them. Like if you look at the color, the shade, digital technology at the bottom there is still the biggest chunk for demand in terms of job advertisements in the UK. Now let's talk about salary. Okay, if you look at it, so you see here, this data is showing the median salary across digital technology roles. We're talking of developers, data scientists, data engineer, analyst, and architect, and so on and so forth. If you look at it, the blue one shows that London software developers are the highest paid in London. Yeah, London. So the areas are the ones on the x-axis, and then you will see here the rows on the y. So London is still very high. In fact, I have another slide here that shows you average salaries for roles compared to average median salaries across the UK. So you see that London is highest, followed by Birmingham, I think. Yeah, Birmingham. Yeah, Birmingham is next. And then Glasgow. Let's see. Glasgow is quite low, actually. The data is quite small, but I will share the slides will be shared, and then you'll be able to read it more better. It's coming out very tiny on this platform. Now let's move into talking about digital upskilling. Why am I showing you the data? I'm showing you the data because it is important that every one of us, we upskill ourselves. Yeah, it's important that we upskill ourselves. According to what this lady said here, Nikki Verd, she wrote a book called Disrupt Yourself or Be Disrupted. It says, having only one skill or holding only to your academic qualifications in an era of exponential change makes you economically vulnerable. Now, let that sink in very well. Yeah. Having only one skill or holding only to your academic qualifications in an era of exponential change makes you economically vulnerable. And that's not where anybody wants to be. We all want to be economically empowered. We all want to be economically, viable, not vulnerable. Okay. So in terms of your ability to earn money, your ability to be economically advantaged, your ability to be, financially empowered is not only just important that you focus on your digital skills, but you have to consistently and continuously upskill, upskill. All right. So let's talk about upskilling. Now, I want to focus on some on demand skills um, in the digital technology space in the UK. I think that should be in demand, but anyway, it doesn't matter. You get the gist. Business analysis is in demand a lot. Yeah. I'm not going to delve too much into the each of these disciplines because that's not the purpose of this webinar. But I'm going to touch on some, very important disciplines that I believe everybody should think about, whether you're already on a journey or whether you are trying to decide what is the best area to focus your energy or to focus your upskilling efforts. Yeah, business analysis is an important one. In fact, that is something I'm very passionate about. I created the Agile Business Analyst Bootcamp in 2014, 2015, and this program has helped so many people to transition into business analysis and agile consulting. Agile business analysts are change and transformation agents. They help companies to navigate major improvements, such as business process change, or to adopt a technology, or whether to do business process redesign and reengineering. So, business analysis is a very, very core skill. In fact, I tell people that everybody, whether you are working as a business analyst or not, or whether your job title is business analyst, in fact, you should learn the disciplines and the practices of business analysis. It's very important. Yeah, it's very important. The next one I'll talk about is cloud computing. This one I don't need to talk too much about it. Cloud engineers and administrators are responsible for managing a company's cloud systems. As you know, now we are in an era of the cloud. Yeah. Every organization that is thinking about being relevant or being continuing in business, having a cloud adoption strategy is it has to be part of your roadmap or your plan. Otherwise, you are going to be extinct just in a couple of months or years. Cloud adoption is big. Every company is moving and migrating their infrastructure, their applications, their solutions, their products to the cloud. Yeah. And they need people with expertise in helping them to make this migration from on-prem solutions to, cloud platforms, whether that is Azure, AWS, Google Cloud Platform, and so on and so forth. Those are the big ones. So cloud computing is a very important skill, and the barrier for entry is so low. Like, you do not need to have any prerequisite degree or computer science degree or anything. No, even business, all these things all these roles I'll be talking about in the next few minutes, you do not need to have any major qualification in tech or in software development or in computer science in order to be able to kick off and start and secure a role in this space. All right, 1 second. The next one is content design. Content design. Now, with the advent and the pressure that cloud brings, we all know that content it plays a huge role in that. Now, you cannot sell anything online without having to describe it in a way that people can find you, whether you're trying to build a social media presence, or whether you're trying to sell something on an e-commerce store, or whether you're trying to, whatever it is you're doing, content is important. Content is how people will find what you're looking for. And when they find what you're selling or what you're producing, how they will engage with it in terms of them understanding it, them being able to engage and participate or buy or contribute, whatever it is you're trying to achieve, content is king. And content designers are people who help to plan and create and ideate and distribute content for web pages, blogs, social media, ad campaigns, mobile campaigns, online campaigns, using a very user centered design approach. So, content can vary. Content can be text, images, infographic, videos, you know, but the ability to be able to curate, to plan, to distribute, know how which information goes where and what is relevant for what audience is a very important skill in this time and age. And you do not need to know or need to, again, you don't need to have any background or anything. All you need to do is bring your mind and bring your creative mind, and you'll be able to do this job. Content designers are well paid as well, as I mentioned before. The next one is data analysis. Yeah, data analysts are skilled individuals who basically collect, process, and perform analysis on a large data set. Yeah, so they can use data to discover or uncover issues. They can use data tools to solve problems, and they can use data to guide business decisions in order to make sure that business owners are making decisions. For example, I do a lot of work in the tech space. And when I want to make some decisions, I have to be able to rely on data. I have to look up to my data consultant. Excuse me. I have to look up to my data consultant or performance analyst to help me make sure that I'm looking at the right data set and I can infer meaning and insight from the data so that the decisions that I make as a business owner or as a CEO or as an executive is correct and is based on facts and based on evidence and evidence by data. And data analysts are so important in this time and age. You can imagine now in the world of information, in this world of information, data is enormous. We generate so much data every day, from social media to data processing to applications online to e-commerce. There's just so much data available that it's very hard for decision makers to make their decisions without the help of people who specialize in creating meaning out of data that is structured and data that is unstructured. They use tools like, Data Studio, Google Analytics, Google BigQuery, Power BI. You learn things like Python, MATLAB, and so on and so forth. And all of these are things that you can learn right from novice to expert level without any prerequisite or previous degree or computer science or certification in anything. No, you just need to be able to apply yourself and use these tools that are already in existence to be able to create meaning out of chaos or chaotic data or big data, so to speak. All right. The next one I'll talk about is digital marketing and SEO. SEO stands for search engine optimization. All right. Now, like I said, just along the same thread, everybody is moving online. Everybody has moved online. Business has moved online. I'm talking to many people all over the world now, dialed in from different parts of the world, and I'm sitting right here in front of my computer. Yeah. And you're hearing me, you can see me, you can talk to me by chatting back to me, and I can see, what's going on. If you can't hear me, you say you can't hear me, you can communicate. Okay. Now, it is so important that as we moved online and we are selling our products and services on the internet, we need people with the expertise and the ability to help us position our products, position our services on the internet in the right places so that we can make money. They use many different tools. Digital marketers use many different tools to make sure that your website or your product can rank very high when it comes to on the search engines. They can increase your web traffic. They can increase your social media following. They can maintain search results by optimizing your website and making sure that you are using the best tools to get the best results for your investment in marketing. Okay, so traditional marketing versus digital marketing is a separate conversation. But as you can imagine, digital marketing is now a huge portion of marketing compared to traditional marketing. So marketing now is digital. Marketing now is online. It's very less of traditional. Yes, traditional is not totally dead, but I tell you, digital marketing is the new. It's a thing that you don't even need any prerequisite or anything. Just come in and you'll be able to secure a role in this space. The next one I want to talk about is product management. Product managers are like the people who help organize companies or businesses to focus on the development of their ideas into actual products or services that their customers will be able to use. So a product manager will focus and work directly with development teams and help to position, requirements in a way that developers can understand it and turn those requirements into working solutions so that a company's customers can use them or buy them or peruse them as the case may be. Product management focus on user experience, and they also try as much as possible to be the voice of the customer within the organization. So product management is a very important skill that I believe in this time and age, anybody who wants to work in tech, huge demand for product managers. So something that you should look at. Google it and you'll see what I'm talking about. I've got three more. Scrum Master. Now, a lot of people are wondering, oh, Victor, why have you not said anything about product and project managers? Yeah, I am not saying anything about project managers because now I'm talking about Scrum Masters. Yeah, and I'm not saying that Scrum Masters are project managers. No, I am saying that the role that used to be that of a project manager now is going and fading out gradually. There's still project managers, of course, but you will not see a lot of them as they used to be. And that's because Agile has changed the way that organizations adopt or apply their ways of working. Okay. So you will see that between the role of a product manager and the Scrum Master or an Agile coach, the responsibilities or deliverables of a project manager is now like dissected and broken down and given to those people. And the project manager is almost like, okay, what's my job now? Just sit on top. But really, it's fading out. That's the long and short of it. So a Scrum Master is a person that works with the members of a Scrum team to guide and coach them. You can also call him an Agile coach. And what they do is they are the leaders, they are servant leaders who serve the team and they serve the organization and they are accountable for making sure that the team are able to work. There are no blockers, there are no issues for them, they are the safe space to work, they are able to carry on with their development and getting answers and tools and everything they need to be able to do their job. That's what Scrum Masters do. The next one is software development. Of course, this one I've already told you, the data already speaks to this heavily. Software developers basically execute mobile or web applications that solve the need of the users. In fact, full stack developers are now in so much demand. All right. And what you do is by combining front end and back end skills, that's what makes you a full stack developer. Meaning, when it comes to back end development, you can combine skills like Java, Python, and all that stuff. And when it comes to front end, you understand things like React, Angular, Vue, and all those things. And you're able to fuse those things together to, in order to make a fully functional application or software or solution. That's what makes you a great full stack developer. And of course, it's not enough to just be a developer. Also understanding the ways of working like agile, you know, uh, um, what is agile? Under agile, are we talking about Scrum, Kanban, XP, and all those things also make you a well-rounded digital technology consultant. Now, the last one I want to talk about is user research. Not many people are talking about this, but I will talk about it because I think it's a lack of knowledge and lack of awareness um, that a lot of people are focusing on. Maybe, for example, people think, oh, I'm a business and I want to work in tech, but business analysis is too analytical for me. I want to do something else. Or somebody says, I want to do something in tech, but I can't find somewhere where I can easily, land and do job. User research is good. If user researchers are people that help to gain in-depth understanding of the behavior of users, their pain point, their needs, their motivations. And how do they do this? They do this by carrying out observations. They carry out task analysis. They carry out, usability testing. They carry out survey. They carry out diary studies and so on and so forth. The whole idea, the whole discipline of user research is to help designers of products to understand the design impact on the actual users or the potential users so that the product or the service they're designing or developing actually meet the needs of the users. So at the heart or the center of user research is the user need, the need of the user, not the want, the need of the user. So let me stop there for now. I've focused a lot on I've talked about the 9 disciplines that you do not need to have any prerequisite or degree or anything in tech for you to be able to find your fate and work. Okay. The last two are UX design. Yeah. UX designers are the ones that create design experience to make sure that users are able to logically use the application and flow within the application easily. They focus on easy navigation and usability of services, mobile apps, web apps, impacting on the visual and logical and mental impression of the users of the application. And finally, cybersecurity. That's a big one. In fact, you know that as much as technology has now, everything has gone online, which is a good thing. The bad thing about it is that there's also an increase in cyber risk and cyber attacks. So as more companies are moving to the cloud, there's a need to now bring in cybersecurity experts who can help to prevent cyber attacks. They protect the company by employing a range of technologies and processes that can prevent, detect, and manage cyber threats. So if you're working as a cybersecurity analyst, you protect IT infrastructure. Your job is basically to make sure that hackers or attackers are not able to penetrate and bring down or steal information or whatever it is they want to do. It's a very great career path to enter right now. In fact, there is a high demand for professionals with cybersecurity skills. Okay, thank you. And I'll finish, I'll stop there. But those are like top 9 to 11 job specs that I've mentioned to you that you can take away and, go and find one or two that you think you want to specialize in, and you'll be able to succeed because there's a huge demand for all of these ones that I've mentioned right now in the UK. Now, I know that many people want to hear, okay, Victor, you say you're going to tell us how you can get a job with the UK within 8 weeks. Now, all the jobs I've just mentioned to you, the 11 of them, thereabout, you can actually secure a job in any of those 11 within 8 weeks. And I will tell you the timeline: week 1, week 2, week 3, up to week 8. Now, you'll be surprised to see that the things that we talk about, yeah, there is no logical order or chronological order to them. Yeah, they are things that you have to do in parallel, such that by the end of the 6th to the 8th week, you are already talking about your role or securing your job. If you're strategic and motivated, it is possible to secure a job within a couple of weeks or up to 8 weeks if you commit the effort, the time, and the energy. So let's talk about that. Number 1, so your week 1 to 4 now. Focus on your reality by applying for roles that fit. Okay? Now, when I say focus on reality, what I mean by that is this. I've just given you about 11 potential job areas. Across all of those 11, you will be able to find something, one, that you know that based on your current experience or background or knowledge or whatever you've been doing, you can fit into at least one. Don't try to do more than one or try to do many things at the same time. No, pick one or maximum two and attack it and focus on it. And that's your reality. Don't apply for roles because you think the money is good or you are getting more. Just focus on what you believe you are good, best fit for, and apply for that. Okay, so that's your first assignment. The second one, and like I said, you don't have to do week one. You don't have to do what I've put in week two in week two. You can do it in week one as well. So there's no logical order to do. You can do it in any way, any shape or form. The second thing is fix up your CV and fix up your LinkedIn and use keywords. So if I am applying for a role of a Scrum Master, if I'm focusing on applying for becoming a Scrum Master, I will make sure that everything on my LinkedIn, everything on my CV is screaming agile, is screaming Scrum, is screaming servant leadership, is screaming support, is screaming how I can help people, is screaming how I understand, agile ways of working, is screaming keywords that will make sure that whenever I upload my CV onto a job site or put it in front of a recruiter, they will it will jump the queue and go to the top of their list. Okay. Number three, week three, invest your time and energy in networking to the max. Now, LinkedIn is a very, I don't need to say too much. LinkedIn, everybody knows LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a good place to network. If you are looking for a role now, I'll give you some links to some website where you can apply. You can even apply for remote roles. So don't focus on only applying for roles that are local to you or roles that are maybe in only a particular region. Now the world is global. We are in a global workspace now. You can be in America and you can be working in China. Your company can be in China. It doesn't really matter. In fact, during this week, I was reading a tweet from the CEO of Airbnb, and he said all Airbnb employees can work remotely permanently forever. They can choose whether they want to work remotely or they can choose whether they want to work in the office. And they even give you opportunity to go and work anywhere you want to work in America, and your salary will not change. So the world has changed. The future and the now of work is not what it used to be. Okay, so network to the max. Send messages on LinkedIn, send messages on Facebook, send many messages on many other platforms where all the job boards reach out to recruiters and just network and network and network. Call them, message them, email them, call them, message them, email them. How do you do this? I've put it in week 4, and you can bring this to week 1 if you like. So this is 8 weeks timeline. You can basically take all of these 8 things I'm telling you and rearrange them as you like, as it works for you, and focus on getting your job within 8 weeks. Okay, within 8 weeks. Number 4, start every day with a to-do list. Start every day with a to-do list. Now, this is a very powerful solution. A lot of people don't struggle to focus. Yeah. But when you have a to-do list on a daily basis, it helps you with focus. In the morning, I do this to myself. When I wake up in the morning, I make a list. I use things like post-it notes. You always see me with post-it notes. I can see. I carry post-its everywhere and I have my notebook as well. I have my notepad, and I use different software that help me to write notes and take notes. What they help me to do is when something comes to my mind as an idea or a thought or I have a meeting and something comes off the meeting I need to take action on. I write it down. It goes to my to-do list. And I make sure that as much as possible at the end of the day, when I look at my to-do list, I'm ticking off as many things as I possibly can. So not just have a to-do list, it's not enough to have a to-do list. Make sure that you're clearing your to-do list, at the end of every day. And there's so many apps that you can even use now on your mobile app, iOS, Android. There's so many apps that can help you to do to-do list, and you will be able to clear your to-do list. So whether it's to call these recruiters by today, mark their numbers, their email, everything, don't make a list of all those things and be very, very consistent with it. And you'll be surprised. Now, week 5 to week 8, again, like I said, you can rearrange this in any order you like. Make your CV job specific. Tailor your CV and your LinkedIn for each particular role. I know a lot of people struggle with this. When you are applying for a role, don't just create one CV and send it to every like 500 or 200 or 100 job roles. No, that's not good. I know it's a difficult one to do, but if it is only 10 or 5 that you can do in a day, tailor your CV for each particular job role. So look at the job spec, and this is how you do it. Look at the job spec, and then adjust your CV based on the requirements on the job spec. The keywords on the job spec, yeah, make sure that they're reflecting on your CV. Okay, make sure that the um, deliverables on the job spec are things that you've highlighted on your CV that you've done or you've delivered in the past. All right. And these are the things that, and adjust your bio on your CV to reflect the things that the recruiters or the hiring manager is looking for. All right. And these are the things that will make a lot of difference when you start making applications. All right. Tailor your CV. Don't just send one blank CV. I've seen a lot of people make this mistake. I've coached so many people in this area. I saw people make this by creating one CV, the lazy way to do it, one CV, just be firing that CV everywhere. No, 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 no. It's not about the amount of CV you sent out. It's about the quality of applications that you make. Okay. Number 6, week 6, dress the part in person and in video. I already talked about networking. If you are going to come on a video call with a recruiter, or you're going to come on a video interview or with an hiring manager, make sure that your environment is clear, is clean. There's no distraction. There's no noise. There's no noise around you. And then make sure you're properly dressed for the occasion. I'm not saying that you have to go and wear, I mean, I'm not wearing a suit and a tie and everything, but I have to dress the part. I have to look like what I want to do, where I'm going. You dress the way you want to be addressed. Okay. So don't say because we are now online, we are on video, it's an opportunity for you to just, appear anyhow or dress anyhow. No, no. Make sure you're properly dressed and you look good for what you're trying to achieve. Okay. Week 8, when you are doing your job search, okay, I will share some links with you in a minute, and you can take a screenshot or you can get the slides or afterwards. Um, Consider locations and part-time work or remote jobs. Okay, don't just restrict yourself to only permanent jobs that are in my town, in my city, in my streets, not too far from my house. No, you have to open yourself up now to a global landscape of opportunities. Okay, American companies are hiring in Nigeria, where I come from. American companies, British companies are hiring in the Philippines, in India. I hear that Indian companies are even looking for remote workers now. Excuse me. Okay, so don't restrict yourself by location. Focus on use the power of the global landscape, the power of the internet to open yourself to part-time work, remote work, freelancing. Even if you're looking for work, add freelancing to the list. Like there are some jobs that they will not be able to offer you permanent roles, but they don't mind taking you on for 2 weeks to do a quick job for them. If you do it right, they will call you again for another opportunity. Open yourself for freelancing opportunities. There's so many freelancing websites that many people are looking for business analyst jobs or data analyst job, whatever they're looking for. But if they had created a profile for themselves on a freelancing website, they would have been receiving many job offers whilst they're looking for that permanent role they're looking for. Am I making sense? So open yourself to more opportunities by not restricting yourself to location or region or type of job. Okay. And finally, make sure you join a community of like-minded people and engage. At Waymaker Digital, this is something that we've really thrived on over the years. We always make sure that our community is a community of people who are like-minded, whether it's people who are already working, connecting with people who are looking for work, or two people who are looking for work, working together to help themselves on the journey. Make sure you join the community. There's so many communities online now. In fact, go on Slack, Google Slack communities or Discord communities or WhatsApp communities or Telegram communities. There's so many communities that are open that you can be a part of and you can learn from. And you'll see that some of the things that you are learning, whether you're doing a course or a training, whatever, it can help you, validate your knowledge and validate and give you confidence. Okay. So this is for me how to get a job within 8 weeks. And I know that I've said that in the UK, but this applies anywhere in the world. All right. So I guess we're going to do another seminar for America, for people in America and Canada and the rest of the world. But let's focus on the UK. If you take do these 8 things within 8 weeks, consistently every day, you will secure a job within 8 weeks. And you can do them in any order. Like I said, the 8 things I've mentioned, which are: one, focus on your reality, fix up your CV or link to using keywords. Three, invest time and invest time and energy to network to the max. Week four, start every day with your to-do list and clear your to-do list every day. Five, make your CV job specific and tailored for each role. It's not in the amount of CVs that you sent out, it is the quality of applications that you make. Number six, dress the part, both in person and in video. Okay. Number seven, consider other opportunities on the global landscape: part-time work, freelancing, other locations. Open yourself up. You'll be surprised. Number eight, and last one, join a community of like-minded people, and you'll be surprised at what you're going to get. Now, there are a few links I'm going to share with you. If you're applying for work in the UK, whether you're abroad, it doesn't matter. Whether you're in Nigeria, you are in Ghana, you are in Algeria, you are in India, all of these things can still really, really help you. If you're trying to get a job in the UK, you can use the UK occupation skills shortage link. The link is there, www.gov.uk, and search for occupation skills shortage. You'll be surprised at the amount of opportunities that you find. If the job you're looking for is on the short occupation list, yeah, it makes it easier for companies that have licensed sponsorship to sponsor you. Okay. So, for example, this is for people who want to, maybe you want to relocate to work in the UK. Um, for example, you are looking for a job that they can sponsor you. Okay. Um, for the UK, all you need to do is, when you are trying to make that decision between whether business analysis or data or cyber or user research or whatever, you can go to the go and search for shortage occupation list on www.gov.uk, and you will see that there's a list of particular jobs. Yeah, if what you are trying to do is on that list, then you know that there are companies that the UK Home Office has given skilled worker sponsor license. I told you at the beginning, I was telling you about the data at the beginning. Yeah, there are companies that have been given skilled worker sponsor license, and they can provide sponsorship for you to come and work and relocate and work in the UK. Waymaker Digital, we are a sponsored license, so we are licensed to sponsor people from anywhere in the world to come and work with us in the United Kingdom. And there's so many companies like us all over the United Kingdom. So yes, just do that and you'll be surprised, and that will help you. Now, also, you can use the ONS occupation coding tool to search for job roles. So the Office for National Statistics, just Google it, and you'll be able to see the occupation title, the job code, and you can use that to search for roles as well. Now, this is what I promised you. So I'm not going to call out all of this, but if you can take a screenshot of this or type it down or something, it will help you. These are all websites where you can get remote jobs. Okay? These are all websites where you can get remote jobs. Remote jobs on Flex Jobs and the rest of them. Take a screenshot, and then at the end of the webinar, we can find a way to email out the slides to people who have attended. And I think that there'll be a replay of the webinar. So take a screenshot and apply. You can get a lot of jobs on all of these websites. In the UK, if you're applying for jobs, the popular websites are CV Library, Wikijob, Indeed, Reed, Monster, Adzuna, CW Jobs, Guardian Jobs. LinkedIn is a big one. I've already mentioned that. So yeah, you need to just apply yourself and you'll be able to secure a role within 8 weeks. If you're looking for internships, if you're a graduate as well, or it doesn't matter whether you're great or not, you can even find internship platforms like the ones on my screen. Google them, apply, and you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised. And within 8 weeks, if you do all of these things, you'll be able to secure your role. Now, as we come towards the close of my presentation, I want to tell you about Momentum. Yeah, Momentum by Waymaker Digital. I am very excited about Momentum because it is not a common product or service. A lot of people think Momentum is training, but Momentum is way, way more than training. I've already talked about how to get a job in the UK within 8 weeks, but That your 8 weeks start from when you know that you are skilled enough to secure the role. You know, it's not 8 weeks to get the training and then 8 weeks to not get the job. No, no, that's not what I'm saying. If you're already skilled and you are ready to go, 8 weeks is more than enough to secure a job role. But let's assume that you need help with some of those things I've mentioned. This is where momentum comes in. Momentum by Waymaker Digital is a DFY service done for you. It's a done for you career acceleration program. It focuses on training. It focuses on work experience and by work shadowing. It focuses on coaching and mentoring. And then there are so many other things that come with momentum. Now, if you want to know a lot, I'm not going to spend too much time talking about, I will just cover some of the key elements of momentum so that you understand why I said momentum is way beyond training and certifications. Of course, training and certification is always a starting point is there, but there's so many other things that we do in momentum that is beyond training and certification. And let me say this before we go. I know I mentioned, before I go on, it's not enough to have certification. In the UK, your certifications and your qualifications and your degrees, I know many people that have done 2 masters, 3 PhDs, they don't count. It doesn't matter. What employers are looking for is your experience. Have you done it before? Can you do it again? Can we verify that you've done it before? If all of those things are tick, 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 boom, you get a job. So even if whether you have a PhD and MHD and whatever, it doesn't matter. Nobody really cares. I mean, that much. Nobody. Let me not say them, but nobody really cares. Like recruiters, hiring managers just want you to be able to get the job and deliver and perform. Yeah. Momentum has progress from basic to advanced level, and we will look at 8 to 24 weeks for the program. Now, some people have different, different learning. People have different learning patterns. Yeah, and what that means is that you can learn something within a week, and it can take somebody else to learn it, a month. Okay, so it doesn't really matter where you are. Momentum allows you to be able to carry on with the program and move it around your capability, your ability, and your skill and everything. That's what momentum is about. So we have training and certification, we have work shadowing, we have weekly coaching, we do a career roadmap for you. Yeah, a personalized career roadmap with milestones that help you to track your journey, the things you need to do. You have your backlog, you have list of items, your certifications, your presentation, your facilitation skills, everything. In fact, towards the end of your milestone, we actually do your CV for you. We don't teach you how to go and do your CV. No, we don't tell you how to go and update your LinkedIn. No, we actually do that for you as part of momentum because we are invested in you succeeding. That's the power of momentum, and that's why majority part of momentum is done for you. You only need to apply yourself and you succeed. Okay. Of course, Maymaker Digital, we have partnerships with UK Kickstart Scheme. We are partnerships with UK apprenticeships. We are UK skilled worker visa sponsor, and we are also registered on the UK Register of Learning Providers. So you can Google Momentum or Google Waymaker Digital. You'll find that, and we have partnerships with the likes of Udemy, Coursera, certification bodies like AWS, Google, IBM, Scrum Study. So we have a lot of education partnerships and all that. I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but I want to talk about the things that make momentum really, really good. Yeah. You get a work experience that is from a UK-based organization, and not just a UK-based organization. You are getting an international work experience that you can apply anywhere in the world. So if you start momentum as if you're starting a job. You get an official email address, you get an official account, you have access to all the platforms that a normal employee of Waymaker Digital and Momentum would have. You are able to do everything as if you are working in the UK, wherever you are in the world. That's a beautiful thing about momentum. We do work shadowing, so you are embedded with our product development team, where you are seeing how they work every day, our software developers, our user researchers, our UX designers, our content. You see how everybody is, even our marketing people, you see how they are working, and you are in the conversation, you are joining our daily stand-ups, you join our daily calls, you are joining project meetings, you are doing weekly community sessions and knowledge sharing. There's so many opportunities. You are just part of the community, and you are working with us every day. Even if you have a day job, you can still apply yourself by joining the meetings and catching up on recordings and all the sessions that we run. That's the beautiful thing about Momentum. It's not a training program, it's a career transformation program. Remote jobs, we help you to also focus on things like, whereabouts are you? You can apply for remote jobs, and you can apply for internships and apprenticeships. How does it work? If you want to join Momentum, it's a multi-step process. You come on a discovery call. Yeah, you can book a discovery call. I will put a link in the chat or towards the end. Discovery call, and then we do your onboarding. We design your personalized roadmap for you. You start your program, and you start your work shadowing, and that's it. And everything I've just mentioned in this 5-step journey is very, very involving. You need to, commit time and effort and energy to it. And this is what you need to do, like I said, in order to hit and nail that job within 8 weeks. Okay? And finally, if you have questions, please put them in the chat. We are not an immigration or employment agency, just to mention. We're a company that we help people in development of their skill set, who are eager to learn, progress, and explore opportunities in tech. So please, we don't accept any liability for and the content of this webinar. So if you are looking for immigration advice, or you want to take everything that's been said as an advice, no, it is not an advice. Just make sure you do your checks very well, and everything has been said works and is correct. Some of our friends on social media, if you want to follow them, you can follow them. Niger to UK Matters on Instagram, or Niger UK Girl on Instagram. And of course, you can follow us on Instagram as well. Momentum by Waymaker Digital. It's at Join Momentum, at Join_Momentum UK. All right. If you have questions, please put your questions in the chat, and I'll be able to take them in a minute. If you want to reach out to us, the website is www.joinmomentum.co.uk. All right. Email address momentum@waymakerdigital.zohodesk.eu, and you can ring us on 020-7082-5265. So all the details on my screen. Okay, Q&A time. So that's the end of my presentation. Thank you for staying with me to the end. Let's take question and answers. If you have questions, please put them in the chat, or you can use the question tab. And then I will use this opportunity to make a poll for people. Okay, let me see, is there any question there? Aha, so I can see some questions coming through. Now, the first question is, can you please list the 11 job opportunities initially mentioned? Yes, I can cover them all for you. Let me see if I can go back to them. So I'll quickly cover those for you again. If you missed that, I covered 11 jobs that are in demand. Yeah, that's it. So the first one I mentioned, business analysis. Yeah. Cloud computing. Yeah. Content designer. Okay. Data analysis. Digital marketing and SEO. Product managers. Scrum masters. Software developers. User researcher. UX designer, and cybersecurity. Yeah. So those are the 11 job roles I've mentioned. Does that help? That's a question from Eyitayo. Yeah, Eyitayo, I've answered the question. Let me know if that helps. You're welcome. The next question I can see, can we get the recording to this webinar? Yes, yes. You will definitely get a recording to the webinar. In fact, I think, if I'm correct, I think the system should automatically send you a recording as soon as the webinar is over. But I may not be 100% correct about that. But yes, you get a recording. The next question is from Israel. Oh, that's a question from Abib. So Abib, that's answered your question. The next question is from Israel. What is the cost for your services? The services. I'm trying to. Hang on. Where is it? Have I lost it? I think I've lost the question from. I've lost the question from someone there. Someone said, "What is the cost of a service?" I can't see the question anymore. But the momentum cost, I'll put the link in the chat now, so you can see momentum pricing there. That should have been on my slide. It's actually in the UK. For those who are in the UK, is £1,499. Okay, so momentum is 1,400. If you look at the link, if you follow the link that I've just put in the chat, is £1,499. Like I said, it's not a trade. It's not just a trade. It's a massive career transformation program. So, and the majority part of it is that is done for you. Okay. Then the good thing about it as well is if you're in the UK, we have payment plans available, so you can pay 2 times or you can pay 3 times. In fact, we have payment financing available as well. If you're in the UK, iWalker can sponsor you by giving you the money. They will loan you the money, and you can pay iWalker back at whatever payment plan you want to agree with them. Okay, so that's the answer to that question. Then somebody said most of the jobs require permit to work or working visa. Please share more light. Yes, Collins. Like I said before, if you go on www.gov.uk and you search based on the jobs on the shortage occupation list, you will be able to find, and it will help you to find opportunities and jobs that are being sponsored for. Yeah. So, for example, if I go to that list and I see a lot of demand for developers or full stack developer or for cybersecurity consultant, it means that if I have a skill in that area or I can skill myself up in that area, I can potentially apply to a lot of companies who are sponsoring people who can sponsor me to come and work for them in the UK as a cybersecurity consultant. Does that make sense? So basically, if you want to work in the UK, and you want to relocate, if it involves getting sponsored, if you're not in the UK at the moment, you want to relocate to the UK and you want to secure your job within 8 weeks, my advice to you will be to skill up yourself first. Make sure that you're skilled up in those areas. Do your research, skill up in those areas, and then you start applying for jobs who are with companies that are sponsoring, so that they can sponsor you to come and work in the UK. And there's so many thousands of them. Okay, the other question, I think that answers the question, Collins. Yeah. So if most of the job require work permit, it means that you need to apply to be sponsored. And in order to do that, you need to focus your energy on applying to companies that have sponsorship licenses. Okay, like Waymaker Digital, we do have licenses, but again, there's so many thousands that are sponsoring and willing to sponsor you to come and work in the UK, 100%. So that's question from Collins answered. Let me see, is there any more? Let's have a look. Does this pricing also apply to those outside the UK? Well, no and yes. So if you're outside the UK, let me put a link in the chat. Okay. If you're outside the UK, please send an email here because you don't have to pay the same pricing. I'll put a link in the chat for you now. Where send an email to Momentum. Yeah, if you can see my slide, okay, there you go. If you can see my slide, send an email to this address. Yeah, waymakerdigital.zohodesk.eu. Send an email to that address today, and you will be able to get an advice based on where you are. For example, if you're in Nigeria, for example, we have candidates from Nigeria who are on Momentum program. You don't pay the pound rate. You pay based on naira. So we appreciate that. So we'll tell you the amount you need to pay in naira if you're in Nigeria, for example. If you're in the US, you don't have to pay the pounds. You have to pay the equivalent in your country of, and you use the official rates, in your country of domicile. Okay, so that answers your question. Let me take more questions. Sorry. Uh, have I missed anyone? Can I become a software developer with a little background knowledge because I heard it is quite technical? Well, like I said, there are 11 job roles there. So you don't need to. Software developer is the only one in the 11 I've mentioned today that you need to apply some technical knowledge. All the other job roles, you do not need to apply any technical knowledge. Okay. So you don't need any technicality or any technical ability to be able to do those jobs. So Collins, that answers your question. Does the pricing? No. Is your fee the same for all those outside the UK? No. I've already answered that question. Send an email to that address and you will be advised what to pay. Do we have a discount opportunity for keying in to Momentum program? Yes, you have a discount opportunity. If you send an email that you've attended the webinar today, for those who have attended the webinar today, we are giving away a discount amount of 15%. 15% for attending today. 15%. So if you attend the webinar today, wherever you are, whether you're in the UK or outside the UK, you get 15% discount. Okay. Um, the link for those, so if you get 15% discount, if you apply, that is if you apply within 48 hours. I must mention that. Okay. So 48 hours to this webinar, you will not pay 15% of your momentum fees. We waive 15%. If you apply within the month of May, meaning between now and the end of May, you get 7.5 percent. Yeah, 7.5% discount within the month of May. So that applies throughout May. So just let us know which one you want, and the link will be sent to you, and you'll be able to make an application. Let me take more questions before I go. What is the breakdown if I want to pay 3 times? So you just divide the total fee by 3, basically. So, for example, 1,499 divided by 3 is 499, or am I correct? Let me open my calculator. 1,499, just divided by 3, basically. It's not, or divided by 2, depending on how many times you want to pay. So you said you want to pay 3 times. 1,499 divided by 3, that's 499 pounds per month. And then you set it up, and the system will process it for you, and um, you'll be able to sort that out. I think I've answered most of the questions. Somebody said you can check the link in this chat for more info on that. Okay. Yes, 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 yes. Thank you. Thank you, Abib. You've answered that question for them. Thank you, Abib. Thank you. That. What are the categories of jobs? I've already answered that question. Um, Categories of job available in the UK. I've already mentioned them. I've listed 11 of them today, and you'll be able to answer that. Okay, final question. I'll take this final question and we close this session today. Um, Final question is, what is the duration of the training or education and what mode? Okay, very good question. The duration is, number one, depending on a number of things. We have a plan of 8 to 24 weeks. Okay, our milestone is plan 8 to 24 weeks, meaning it can range depending on what you're doing, whether you are doing user researcher or data analysis or cloud or business, depending on what you're doing. That's one. So that depends. The second thing that depends is your own commitment and availability and your learning style. If you're somebody that you can learn fast and hit the ground, what people do in 8 weeks, you can do it in 4 weeks if that's who you are. Yeah. So depending on you. And finally, the last determining factor is also that it doesn't really matter whether it's 8 weeks or 24 weeks. We don't let you go. So whether you come into momentum today and you get a job in week 5 or week 10 or week 20, you are still part of. So there are people in momentum who are still coming to the coaching calls, who join momentum as delegates like everybody else, but they are working, but they still want to be in the momentum because they believe the conversations and the weekly coaching calls and the engagement helps them on their job. So momentum, like, is for life. You join the program and you are part of it for a very long time. You don't have to finish. That's what I'm trying to say. Does the 1,500 take me through the training? Well, the training is just one part. Or on a men. Yeah, the training is just one part. Training is only an element. I can mention to you before, if you remember my slide. This is my last question, by the way. My team are already asking me to finish. They want me to wrap up. So if you see what I said earlier, momentum is not just about, I'm trying to go to the slide where I talked about momentum. Can you see my slide? Yeah. So momentum is not just about training. Yeah, momentum is way more than training. You can see that training is just one part of it. The training is important. You do a number of certifications as part of the program that you don't pay for. Everything is included in that price. Excuse me. The training is included in that price. Your work experience is included in that price. Your weekly coaching calls, which is timeless, basically. You join weekly coaching call every week, is included in price. Your engagement with the product team and working with the team every day, you don't pay anything for that. Your career roadmap, which is designed for you, that helps you to plan your journey from when you start the program to when you succeed, is part of that program. Your CV branding and your LinkedIn profile that will be done for you is all part of that. Part of that. So it's a one-time fee, but most of the things that will be done for you are all included. And yes, you'll be able to succeed in your chosen field. Okay. Without further ado, I want to say a massive thank you. I think I've answered most people's questions. Somebody said, is the certification exam fees included? Yes, the certification and exam fees is also included in the pricing. We have specific certifications that we follow, and they're all included in the pricing. Yes, 100%. Okay. Thank you so much for joining me today. Really appreciate it. I've enjoyed talking to you. I want to do more and more of this. So if you want more of this sort of webinars where if you found value in the conversations today, please send us your feedback. Tell us what you've learned. If you have any more questions, you can. Oh, by the way, somebody said, you can start anytime. There's no timeline. You can start anytime, and the momentum is done for you. So you can start today, you can start tomorrow, you can start next week. There's no cohort or anything like that. No, it's when you start that you start. There's no timeline of, and you can join from anywhere in the world. We have momentum participants from, USA, from United Kingdom here, from Africa, from South Africa. So it doesn't matter. You can start anytime and from anywhere, as long as you have good internet connection and you have good system and you're able to connect with the rest of the community. Yes, you're on the journey. Thank you so much. The amount for Nigeria is Israel. If you send an email to that address in the comments, we will send you the amount for Nigeria and how to pay for Nigeria as well, so that you don't have to pay foreign exchange for pounds and all that stuff. It's a bit, we appreciate that, so we don't want you to incur more than necessary. So yes, amazing stuff. Thank you so much. Really nice chatting with you. I hope to see you all soon again. When I come your way again, or when somebody from my team would make another webinar like this. I have enjoyed myself. I hope you have had a good time. Please feel free, give us a feedback, give us a comment on Google. Go to Google and give us your review and tell us how you feel, and tell us what you want to talk about again. Until we come your way, this is Victor here saying bye bye. Wherever you are in the world, ciao, adios, gracias, bye bye.